What's up, Buck fans? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another great episode of Bucks Report, the Aftermath 102.9, the game, Broad Street South Radio. Hope you guys are doing all right out there. AJ, turn up. We got Slick, aka the British guy who's always fly. He's going to be on standby. But first things first, Buck fans, I just want to say give yourselves a round of applause for this free agency. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did a fantastic job. We got to give them major props to this man right here. This is the guy that has been holding us down for a while. And that is my man right here, Jason Light, the best GM. I understand a lot of people will talk about the Eagles, and he's a good guy as well. So shout out to him because he got him a Super Bowl. But this man right here has been consistent. This is the man right here who always finds a way to keep this team together, to keep this team afloat. This man right here, Jason Light, always maintains the ship. No matter what, we might have a few leaks, but we never sink. So free agency was a splash. We did the hard work already. Maintaining Levante David was wonderful. Levante David is back. He wants to give it one more year because he sees the big picture. Re-signing Chris Godwin, such a major move. Hassan Reddick, Brederson. We just signed back Anthony Nelson. Signed back Greg Gaines. Bucks fans, there is so much to be hyped about. There's so much because the pieces on the offense is officially set. Buccaneer fans, rejoice. Hear me. You want to know why you should rejoice? You have an elite offense. When is the last time that the Buccaneers had an elite offense outside of the Super Bowl, of course, with Brady and them? But that wasn't too long ago. Usually teams fall out and dip, and that's what the media expected from the Bucks. They expected the Bucks to fall off. They expected the Bucks to just take a nosedive after Brady because in their minds, Brady was the only reason the Buccaneers were good. Brady was the only reason that the Bucks got all this shine and glory. We said, no, the hell not. I beg your pardon. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers maintained their greatness. Adding Baker Mayfield 2 years ago, who, in my opinion, he is a true Buccaneers guy, a grinder, an underdog. And that's what we have in our offense. Let me give you our starting receiving corps. You have Mike Elite Evans, Chris Godwin. You have the emergence of a promising future for Jalen McMillan. You have Cade Otton, Payne Durham, Devin Coe, who's shown flashes of good play. You also have the offensive line, Tristan Wirfs. Need I say, that is the best tackle in football now. All pro at right and left tackle. Take a bow because you knew your Wirfs worth. We also have Bredesen returning. We have Graham Barton, who is going to get nothing but better. I think he is really going to step his game up this season. Then on the other side, we got Gedeke. We got Cody Mock. Cody Mock showed out this year, and he's only going to get better as well. That is our reincarnated Ryan Jensen. He's nasty. He's aggressive. He's physical. Gedeke, that's another tackle that we're going to probably have to sign and pay some big bucks after this season. But your offense is set, Buck fans. Your offense is an elite. Oh, yeah, backfield, Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, Sean Tucker. Oh, yeah, we might bring Sterling Shepard back. You never know. It's the offense. This is a Super Bowl caliber offense, ladies and gentlemen. And mind you, we're doing this without Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield is officially a top 10 quarterback. If you don't believe so, you just don't know shit and you don't know football well enough and you listen to the media. So I can't take you serious. If you're going to kiss the media's ass or glaze anything they say, then this is not for you. And I'm going to need you to go watch some more football on your own and stop depending on the damn media to give you your information. Watch the damn games. Baker Mayfield is getting better and better. And like I said, with this offense, I put this off. This is a top 5 offense if we're literally going by the players. That offense is something special. Can you imagine? And let me tell you, the rest of the world out there, Buck fans, don't fall for the bullshit. Oh, well, you know, Cohen is gone. So, hey, they said the same shit when we lost Canales. We got better, actually. You see what I'm saying? Our offensive players make the damn coordinators, not the other way around. Cohen, kick rocks. Hopefully, look, not hopefully. You'll be lucky if the Jags, the Jacksonville Jackoffs will be lucky if they can even get to 500. But we're not even worried about that sorry ass doo-doo team. We're talking about this Tampa Bay Bucs team. Offense is fucking set, ladies and gentlemen. Buck fans, you have an elite offense. Rejoice. Take a bow. Get some popcorn. Get some rum or whatever you got to drink. And just sit back and go. This offense, knock on wood, we stay healthy. I put us up there with the likes of a Philadelphia Eagles. I put us up there with the likes of a Detroit Lions. I put us up there with that. In the NFC, we're a top 5 offense. No, we're top 5 already. We're top 3 in the NFC. So that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. Rejoice. Your offense is going to be fucking dynamic. Man. It's a beautiful day to be a Bucs fan. Like I said, Godwin and Evans, the best wide receiver tandem, and Don Clement, whatever his name is, stop disrespecting the wide receiver core and Godwin and Evans. Last time I checked, them two won a Super Bowl together, and they have had 1,000-yard seasons. They've had multiple 1,000-yard seasons together. They did that with 3 different quarterbacks. So what are we going? What are we saying? I don't give a shit about. I get a Jamar and T. Higgins. Yeah, they also had an elite quarterback throwing them the ball all the time. I'm sorry. Evans and Godwin have done it the longest, which is why I say they are the best. They have consistently done it the best. So I said what I said. And what's up to the fans out there? What's up? Secondary still has me worried. We're going to get to that in a second. Christopher Cole, thank you. Reddick is going to be dominant. Vaya can't see. I'm going to get to the defense. I got you. And what's going on, KG for life? Hey, guys, we got a hell of a show. Like I said, Slick is on standby. We got the dude who's going to come in here and grace us with his presence in a little bit. So, here you go. The dude is coming. I just wanted to let you guys know your offense is fucking set. Your offense is elite. Dude is about to roll in here right now. Come on, man. Bring in that wire whistle. I know you about to come in there. You. Hey, yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy new league year. It's the start of the 2025 season officially today at 4 o'clock. And we're here live on Bucs Report YouTube, spanning the globe to bring you the best in, well, common fucking sense. Dan Orlovsky, don't be glossing up my GM right now, okay? I got a couple stories we'll tell on another show about Dan Orlovsky's time as a Buccaneer quarterback.
Ooh, that's a horror story.
Oh, it's worse than you think. Ladies and gentlemen, Howard Roseman is not Jason Light, nor will he ever be. Howie? Is it Howie Roseman? Howard Roseman? Howard the Duck? I don't know.
Say, how the hell, Roseman?
Buccaneers, you got Hassan Reddick. This is a high risk, low risk, high reward move for the Buccaneers.
That's right.
They retained a bunch of depth pieces today, Greg Gaines and so on. Still waiting for that Jamel Dean contract restructured, trade, cut, release, whatever the fuck that's going to be. But Buccaneer fans, again, today is the official beginning of the 2025 NFL calendar season. And we're here. We're here to welcome it with you, to celebrate with you, and hopefully to educate you and probably troll some people like, I have to get this in, it's my quota. I have to have at least 5 Dan Orlovsky disses and at least 3 Pat McAfee disses. So those are coming. But right now, I want to ask AJ, because we know Slick is en route.
Yes.
What's the Buccaneers' grade so far this free agency?
This free agency, I'm going to go with an A-. The reason why, hear me out. Levante David being back now, that certifies that you have a leader on the defense that's consistent. Chris Godwin, he brings stability and brings balance to this offense. Evans and Godwin, best receiver tandem in the league. Argue with the wall, anybody else. Like I said, now, with that being said, defenses are going to have to pick their poison, because now you double Evans or Godwin. One of them are going to go off. You try to neutralize Evans and Godwin. Jalen's going to step up. Oh, yeah. Last time I checked, we have a running back, loaded fucking running backs. So that's just the offense by itself. And Bredesen is only going to get better. Let's go with the defense. Hassan Reddick. We've talked about this before, dude. Hey, Buck fans, Hassan Reddick gets you between 8 to 10 sacks. The Bucs are in the NFC Championship minimum, because that means Cansey's going to go off. Vita's going to go off. Yaya's only going to get better. Oh, yeah, maybe Bowles at this point can be fucking aggressive and say, you know what? I can actually take more risks and be aggressive with this defense and not play all that stupid-ass cushion. So that solves a lot of our problems. Now in the draft, we just need a few more, a linebacker, some corners. The free agency was what we said before. That's where Jason Licht had to make his mark. To be a contender, you make it in the free agency, not the draft. When you build in the draft, that's when your team isn't there yet. We are win now mode. So A-, man. A-.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to go with a B to B plus, only because there's a small little part of me, a very small part of me, that is worried the Hassan Reddick deal might end up the way the Greg Hardy deal does, only because Hassan has been, let's just say, a little angry. And I totally get why he was angry last year. The New York Jets, I mean, let's be honest. There's a reason New York wants to keep abortion rights in that state, so they can kill that fucking team. Okay?
Right.
With that said, 3 years ago, one of the most highly valued, most sought after free agents on the market was Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Now, he's not even signed, is he?
No, he is not. Apparently the waiting game.
Okay, so just so we can get a little beef off my chest here, as you can tell by my picture, I might be of the hippie persuasion, if you will.
No problem with that.
This is the NFL that ran Ricky Williams out of the league for smoking the hippie devil's lettuce.
Yep.
But you totally cool with not only courting, but platforming Aaron Rodgers, who's tripping his fucking balls off all offseason. And let's be honest, ayahuasca, LSD, and all that's out of your system within 24 to 48 hours, probably during the season too. You remember when Rodgers first signed with the Jets, and we're all like, oh, he's going to bring that, let's just use the word political bullshit that he had in Green Bay. He was all about to New York, and that's not going to go over well. And then we saw him at a Taylor Swift concert, feeling it, getting down with his bad self, hanging out with all the people he despises, the Hollywood elites and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was he just high on ayahuasca?
I think it was just high on ayahuasca. This is another person. I like that you're bringing this up, dude. Remember, they thought he was going to bring the media told us this. He's going to bring the Jets the same impact that Brady did with the Buccaneers. It's funny how after Brady did what he did, dude, Now everybody's trying to replicate him. That if that ain't GOAT shit, I don't know what it is.
And they did the same thing with Kirk Cousins last year, and now I'm hearing he might be in Indianapolis or some shit. Or Cleveland. Hey,
Right.
if Kirk Cousins ends up in Cleveland, that would mean Cleveland has the two biggest money stealing fucking quarterbacks in the history of the NFL in the last 5 years, in Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins. Here's the thing. I'm not going to hurt on Kirk or hate on him. He's a douchebag. We all know he's a douchebag. We see what he does outside of football. We're going to leave that outside of this show. But here's what I will say.
Yep.
The media was wrong again. And again, they didn't come out and say they were wrong. And that's the difference between the mainstream idiots on the four-letter networks and the flagship network by the league, the NFL network. That's the difference between them and people like us. Go to our Twitter account, go to our Blue Sky account, check out the tweet we put out yesterday on both of them about the media was wrong about this, and we listed literally 3 tweets worth of shit. And never did they say, oh, we were wrong. They just told us why we didn't understand why they said it. And here's where we're at. We all hate engagement farming cocksucking motherfuckers on social media. We all hate it.
Yes, we do.
So why do we tolerate it from our fucking TV fucking networks? Because that's all they're doing. Stephen A. Smith ain't out here creating content that's valuable and enlightening. He's trolling. Skip Bayless, same thing. Everybody on the four-letter network. Dan Orlovsky, you're critiquing Hall of Fame quarterbacks when you couldn't even beat out Mike Glennon in Tampa.
Oh. Damn. Ooh,
Okay.
that's
so,
bad.
With all that said, ESPN, you've got a lot of people who you've let go, and we can tell. You've got a lot of people you're paying money to, and that's the reason everybody's gone from ESPN, and we can tell. Here's my question, ESPN. How does it feel to give up all the bank to the talking fucking belt buckle and him always leaving and going to do wrestling instead of focusing on the millions and millions of dollars you're paying him to create a quality show? Pat McAfee's show, in a nutshell, is bring on someone who's going to say something stupid.
Yep.
React with that stupid fucking face of yours that you're shocked they said something stupid. Yep. And then react with that stupid fucking face again that the fans are calling you stupid for having that stupid fuck on your show saying stupid shit. Yep. And you can pick and choose who I'm talking about there, from Aaron Rodgers to all these conspiracy theories and all this bullshit. Here's what it boils down to, everybody.
Yep.
If you're listening to Pat McAfee, I assume that you fucking ate fucking paint chips when you were a kid. If you're paying attention to what Dan Orlovsky says, I assume that you think Madden football is fucking real. and to all the idiots out there, and don't worry, I'll post this on Twitter so y'all can come on the comment section and whine like bitches. Yep. To all you idiots out going there going, oh my God, they signed Greg Gaines. That's so stupid. He doesn't have production. He doesn't bring value. He's horrible, 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 horrible. Motherfucker, tell me you ain't been in a locker room without telling me you ain't been in a locker room. Tell me you don't understand about leadership. Tell me you don't understand that depth is why teams win, not because of studs. Okay? We didn't get to the Super Bowl in 2020 because of just Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. We got there because every position had someone behind it that could step in and fill the void. Do they fill the backups, fill the void like the starters do? No, douchebags. That's why they're not fucking starters. But you can't have a team of starters. This isn't 19 or 2006 Madden where you can turn off the fucking salary cap and hire every fucking wide receiver one to fill your wide receiver room. We can't have Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins as our wide receiving core. You can't have every great defensive tackle in the league all on one roster. That's not how it works. But that's okay. We understand that you people on Twitter bitching about this are also the ones that still paint beards on your faces, that still wear makeup to do a live stream. Motherfucker, do you know what kind of fucking insecure man, quote unquote, you have to be to spend more time in the beauty shop than you do in the shop? Do you know what kind of man you are if you are on Twitter whining and bitching about another man's money? Do you know what kind of man you are when you think you know better than everybody else, yet you ain't done a motherfucking thing in the sport? That's all I got to say about that. If the people are listening, you know who the fuck I'm talking about. Go get your shit relined. And by the way,
I
when you're
fucking love it.
when you're putting makeup on pre-show, know that you're a bitch. Just know you're a bitch.
100%. 100%.
All right. And before you say anything to me, hold my pocket.
Ooh, that's real. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to reiterate what dude said. The Bucs won because they had depth and there's another thing you do. It's called team chemistry. Just because someone doesn't have a big name doesn't mean they're not good. Dude, the perfect example. So for that guy out there, if that's the case, you don't think William Golston's worth shit, even though the man has been here since Levante David and he does his job. It's called chemistry. Just because you go and get another player doesn't mean they're going to fit your scheme. Every player isn't meant to fit a scheme. There's a reason why some linebackers are better in 3-4 defenses or 4-3s. There's a reason why some corners are better when they play man coverage or zone. Dude is right. And this is what we want people to understand, because there are other motherfuckers out there. Kid you not. I'm talking to this motherfucker. I know you know who I'm talking about. And if you're watching, you're a fucking idiot, because we need to get Cooper Kupp because we don't have enough at receiver depth. What the fuck are you talking about? The offense is set. We re-signed Godwin. We have Evans. You didn't watch Jalen McMillan play last year? He had 8 touchdowns in the last 8 fucking games, and he was cooking. What do you mean? They could go and get Sterling Shepard for cheap. He is good. There's still Trey Palmer. Even he might be trade bait, but the point is Cooper Kupp is not a necessity. Receiving core is fine. We need defense, dumbass.
Cooper Kupp's a one-hit wonder. He's a one-hit fucking wonder. Now imagine Buccaneer fans, NFL fans, fantasy geeks, Madden fucking hoes. Imagine if the Buccaneers only spent an entire season only targeting Mike Evans. He'd have 2,700 fucking yards, bro.
Right.
And that's what happened in the year that Cooper Kupp blew up. Go look at how many times he got thrown to or targeted as compared to the other number 1 wide receivers in the league. And then come back to me and sit the fuck down.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah. And here's another thing.
You want to sign a Cooper Kupp and take fucking reps away from Jalen McMillan? Are you fucking on crack? Are you stupid? Or do you just think this is fantasy football? Because I'm starting to think that 90% of you people out there are just posting because you don't have a fucking life, because you don't have anything outside of no. Here's the thing. 90% of these people out here, your endorphins are only triggered by the little red dot that says notification on your social media. That's what controls your existence. That's what controls your behavior. It's what controls how you think and how you act. And I'm here to tell you, you're a fucking cunt. You're not a man. You're a bitch. You're a hoe. Shut the fuck up, have an opinion, and bring facts with it. Bring why you made that opinion. Don't just say some stupid shit like, Greg Gaines, he doesn't produce on the stat sheet. No, motherfucker, he produces on the practice field. Iron strengthens iron. You wouldn't know anything about that because you're too busy getting lined up at the fucking barbershop. You're too busy glossing each other about, hey, man, check out my new hat, bro. Check out how I bought this hat and it matches my belt and my shoes. Motherfucker, this ain't Project Runway, okay? You can take that RuPaul shit and take it over to Lifetime Network, and we'll go on the show What Happens Next and see how it works out for you there. My point is, you're bouncing around looking to be relevant, and you've pushed the boundary to the point now where you just have to be absurd. And the problem is, you're just absurd.
Yeah, it's absurd. And again, You don't sound intelligent, folks out there, when you say stupid shit like that. And I want to go back to the cup thing. Dude is right. He had all those high volume doesn't make you great. And also, you know, this dude, high volume comes with a fucking cost. Has Cooper Kupp, ladies and gentlemen, ever been the same? Has he ever been the same? You do realize when you get targeted that much like that, that takes a toll on your body. This is football, ladies and gentlemen. If you getting tackled in football is like getting in a mini car accident. So imagine getting 10 straight receptions and getting blown the fuck up 10 straight times. You don't think that takes a toll on your body? I know you haven't done any physical activity. Shit, going to the gym for 7 straight days, that'll take a toll on your body. Imagine playing football and getting hit. Cooper Kupp, there's a reason why he got released. If he was such a hot commodity, why the fuck would the Rams not keep him? Think.
They've been trying to trade that son of a bitch for over a month, and I'll say this. Cooper Kupp's 31 years old, looking like he's 45 and going through a midlife crisis about to buy a Corvette. And that's because the Rams rode him hard and put him up wet. And then when they got Puka Nacua, they're like, Cooper the fuck who? And that's exactly how it plays. Oh, and by the way, Puka, mad respect, mad love, but bro, you really let that Taco Bell motherfucker come in and snatch your number? And then the whole organization, the NFL, ESPN, tried to spin it up. No, Puka decided to go back with his college or high school number for sentimental reasons. Fuck you. This is what we're talking about. Just report what the fuck happened. He capitulated to the veteran. The veteran probably did something to get the number that he wanted. Just say that and we move on. No, we got to have this fucking shit at the top of our newsfeed of Puka Nacua is a sentimental cunt. No. He got fucking rank pulled on him. And the fucking Taco Bell dude came in and said, 17's my number. I'm not coming to this organization without wearing number 17. And the coaching staff said, Puka, pick a number between 1 and 16 and 18 and 99, motherfucker. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Okay?
Right. And it's okay. Some people pull rank. When people forget, Godwin had 12. When Brady came, we all knew that shit was going to be changed. You think Godwin was going to argue with that? He was probably like, hell, take the number. It works. That's just how football works, ladies and gentlemen.
These are the same guys that go to the strip club and think the girls like them.
Exactly. And think that they like them. And I like that we're talking about Puka again. Dude, didn't he get injured because they kept throwing the ball to him too much? So it seems like the Rams haven't learned you can't always target one receiver too much.
Well, that's the thing. Puka's going down the same path that Cooper Kupp went down. And here's the thing. Let me preface this by saying, I ain't got no problem with Cooper Kupp. Homie was asked upon and called upon and stepped the fuck up. And then when he stepped the fuck up, every time you asked him and put his body on the line and got beat the fuck down, you immediately turned your fucking head and went, well, check out this hot little number over here. Who the fuck is this? My ex? Fuck you, dude. Go sit on the fucking bench while I go deal with the guy with the flowing black long hair named Puka. And now we're seeing the same shit happen to Puka. Nagging injury after nagging injury. So we're going to bring in Taco Bell guy. Let's be honest here, bro. The most successful thing Taco Bell guy has done is had a Taco Bell in his fucking house.
and do a little cameo with this boo thing. And that didn't work out well because both of them got kicked out. That's my thing. That man was bitching and moaning about the Raiders. And then you go back to your old ex. And that didn't even work out.
Not only that, hey, Myles Garrett, mad love for the game that you play and how you play it. But you can't come out and say I demand a trade because I want to go play for a championship team and then take the money and stay the fucking Cleveland and end up with Kirk Cousinfucker. Okay? This is the problem. DK Metcalf, I want to go to a team with a quarterback that's not in cold weather. Where did he go? A team with no quarterback with fucking cold weather. I understand money talks and bullshit walks, but motherfucker, if you all ain't out there spending stupid fucking money, getting your hair dyed, dude, we've got more men in this generation that spend money getting their hair did than they do doing man shit. And that's the problem. Yep. I read somewhere that and his time with the Giants, that what's that fucking one hit wonder catch motherfucker's name? Oh,
Hodel.
Hotel freaking Junior is what I call him. Because he's in the hotel being a bottom. There's reports out there that during his time with the Giants, when he got real popular for making that catch, he was spending $20,000 a month on personal appearance. That doesn't mean going somewhere and appearing. That means your hair, your makeup, your nails, your skin. Dude, nothing wrong with looking good. But bro, I used to send my girls to the beauty salon, not my homies.
Well, and I'm gonna back you up on this because motherfuckers will come in here and say, "Oh, you pocket watching." It's not about pocket watching, but we also, here's the issue: when you can see that is fucking up your performance on the field, that's when it becomes a problem. And I will say something. I'll be like, "Yeah, while you're spending this time being a fucking character, you're leaving your brothers out there to dry. You're leaving an organization that is invested into you just to be a fucking drama queen." No, if you can't do both, you need to choose what got you there. Football is what got you there. If you didn't play football and you did the shit that you were just doing, you'd be an IG honey. Let's stop it. So
that's what I'm talking about. Go start a fans only account if that's who you are. With that said, real quick on hit the pause button. Coming on here in a couple minutes, we got JT Olson, one of our best writers at Bucs Report. We call him the draft guy. We call him several other things, but what we don't call him is late for dinner. So before we bring him on, I'm going to drop a little humor for you because dude's been sitting here writing jokes and playing on fucking TikTok because I was bored. So do you want to hear an edgy joke that might have a little racial overtone, or do you just want to go with straight stupidness?
Let's just go with straight stupidness.
All right. This guy's been pretty popular at the top of the news feeds and trending lately in the World Wrestling Federation. Yes, I said World Wrestling Federation because fuck that. Why is Dwayne Johnson the only man that can turn a lesbian straight?
Why?
Because Rock beats scissors, motherfucker.
That's a good one. Rock beats scissors.
With that said, I'm going to step to the side for a minute, but I'm going to stay in the back room. We do want to bring on JT Olson. I don't really know if we got some music for him. I don't really know if he's the kind of guy that wants a music intro. So what we're going to say is go to Blue Sky, go to Twitter, look for Icewater Olson. That's his name across all social media platforms as far as I know. Check him out. Go to BucsReport.com, put in JT. All of his stuff will come up. He's the draft guy. He's the free agent guy. He's probably the only guy here at Bucs Report who, I don't know, isn't sinning on a regular basis like I am. With that said, I want to bring him on screen because he is the host of the Creamsicle Chronicles. He was runner-up for Best of the Bay, Creative Loping Magazine. He is the one, the only, JT Olson. JT Olson, welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, y'all? That was such a nice intro. I'm not even mad that I don't have music.
Wait, I gotta pause for a second.
Yep, I'll say this. Go ahead, dude.
Where the hell's your hair, bro?
Oh, it's shorter now.
See,
are you and Cody Mock related?
No, that's Puka Nakua's biggest enemy right there. He's got that Puka haircut.
No, beginning of the school year, I donated 10 inches, just to
Giggity.
keep it fresh. And
you walked right into that one, man.
Yeah.
JT, we brought you on here for a couple reasons. One, you're my draft guy. Two, you're my free agency guy. Three, you have let me put it the right way. You have a more common sense, logical approach to this stuff, whereas me and AJ are like burn the bridges and let's go for the jugular. JT's more like, no, let's calm down. Me and AJ are more like, let's run down the hill and fuck all them sheep. And JT's more like, let's walk down and fuck them all. So that's why we got you on the show, JT. And real quick, just so we're clear, the people you see on screen, aside from myself, these are the people that are shaping the minds of your children. These are people that do stuff for the community that most of you can't fathom. We're not going to go into detail. We're just going to say that if we had more people like the guys on screen who were doing a little good for the neighborhood, we'd be better off as a society. We'd be better off as a nation. We'd be better off as a human species. That said, JT, AJ, I'm going to step to the side. I'm going to go out and search for Slick. Don't know where he's at. If he doesn't come back on, I got 4 or 5 more jokes that'll probably make you piss your pants. So I'll see you in about 15, 20 minutes. JT, you got the floor as long as you want it. Do not hesitate to tap out if you got to go. I know you got a family thing going on there with bedtime with the kids. But live from the DMV in the upper left-hand corner and live from the beautiful state of Michigan, here's AJ and JT talking Buccaneers free agency and off season. Happy League New Year.
Happy League. And before we even get to my man JT, we got to give JT his props because I will forever remember this and give major props. This is the guy, ladies and gentlemen, that told us to be patient on Gedeke. He said, because the first year Slick and I were so disappointed, we were scared. I was like, damn it, Gedeke got to go. JT Olsen wisely said, now. He reminded us, because I didn't know this. He said, that's not his position, AJ. That's not his position, Slick. They just thrusted him in there because they didn't know what to do. And then, lo and behold, the very next year, in 2023, Gedeke is a stud. We felt Gedeke's loss of absence when he was out those first 5-6 games afterwards. Damn. So Gedeke is going to get a check next year. So, JT Olsen, I appreciate that because that could be one of the moments, one of those players that ends up making this line so supreme. And I tip my hat to you, my man. So appreciate that. That was real.
Hey, that's just me having inside information. If you're betting on a Central Michigan University alumni, it's always a smart bet.
Always a smart bet. My man, I like that. So, well, we were just talking about this free agency. Now, my grade, I gave it an A-. I'm going to make a long story short. Godwin is going to bring a lot of ultimate balance to this elite offense, JT, we have. I said elite. Brederson, continuity with the line. And then with Hassan, now that takes, hopefully, if he pans out just to be average, that fills a major void in the pass rush, and that could change the scheme to where both can be aggressive. So that's why I said A-. How about you, sir? What is your grade? Because you're the expert on this.
Well, I came into free agency wanting 4 things. So right now they've hit one of them. So right now I'll put them at a B because it was an important one. I wanted an upgrade over Bredesen because I think he's solid, but I want more than solid. I want the line to be dominant, and I don't think he's a dominant player. So I was looking for an upgrade there. I wanted Paulson Adebo to replace Jamel Dean because I think Paulson Adebo is an ascending player. I think he's a better scheme fit. He creates more turnovers, and he signed for a deal that is comparable to what Dean got. So I was disappointed that he went to New York instead of the Bucs targeting him. So right off the bat, we missed 2, but we got Reddick. That was one of my other ones. Take a swing on a high upside pass rusher, and whether that was Khalil Mack, in his mid-30s, that's a little bit of a risk, but it's a high upside risk. Joey Bosa, always struggling with injuries, but he's got a lot of talent. He's very skilled. It's an upside swing. Hassan Reddick is definitely someone who fits that mold. Someone who had double-digit sacks for 4 years, out at 16 and a half sacks a couple of years ago before his catastrophe year last year. So that is a 1-year deal. It's not a long-term commitment. It is a high upside pass rusher, and I am for that in a big way. So we got that, and the last thing I'm looking for, what was that last thing I'm looking for? A linebacker. I want another linebacker who can cover. And coming into this, it was a big linebacker market. Lots of guys. Sherwood, Greenlaw, just a ton of linebackers out there. They've all been snatched up for the most part. So the linebacker market's getting a little thin. There's still a couple guys out there I might be interested in. But I'm a little disappointed that we didn't capitalize on some of those big names out there.
I understand completely. Maybe this is something that because look, we gotta trust in this man right here. He always shows us the light. And look, this is what he's been doing for the past years. I got you covered, big homie. That's what he's been doing. So maybe he sees certain players in the draft that are linebackers that can immediately fit Bowles' scheme, and they don't have to do a lot. Because I really think this. I want us to bring in players in the draft. I think, in my opinion, JT, that they come in here with the notion of we don't need you to overthink or overdo. We need you to come in here to do your part, do your job, and your brothers beside you will take care of the rest. And also, hopefully, Savassier, healthy, could be the one to possibly take the mantle when Levante leaves, or if we draft Buchanan from Alabama. I just think that at this point now that with Hassan Reddick, like you said, I'm expecting Hassan a minimum, JT, 8 sacks. I see that because I see explosiveness. He's 30, so he is still good. He was in a shit show with the Jets, so I don't blame him for that. But imagine him. It's Hassan, Vita Vea, Canty, Yaya, Levante, Savassier healthy, Winfield fully healthy, Zion. Man, all we need, like you said, is 2 more linebackers, another corner, and and if Ty Key will be hybrid with safety, JT, there's a lot to be excited about. Don't you think coming into this season?
Oh, I think this is a great season in the making. I think this is a Super Bowl or bust kind of season for the Bucs because you're right. The offense, they're bringing everybody back. It was a top 5 offense last year, and they were young. They were under a brand new coordinator. And now it's a new coordinator this year, but it's relatively the same. They're hired in-house, so there's more continuity than we had going into last year. Graham Barton will be better. So all these guys, are another year older. So Jalen McMillan is another one. He didn't really hit his stride until halfway through the year. So this offense, it should still be excellent. Top 5, top 3, it should have landed in that ballpark. And then defensively, we're bringing in a pass rusher. We are re-signing some of our depth guys like Greg Gaines. We got Levante back. We're going to get Winfield healthy. And we are going to add heavy in the draft, whether it's a guy like Jihad Campbell at middle linebacker or Donovan Ezaraku as another pass rusher or Xavier Watts as a ball hawk safety or, there's so many corners out there who would fit. This is a defense-heavy draft at all the positions the Bucs need. So I think they're only going to build in the draft and address those needs and really be in a strong position.
JT, I'm excited as fuck that you said that. We on the same page right now. That's a beautiful thing. That means I'm kind of knowing what I'm talking about some more. Because usually JT would give it to me like when we were talking about that Ravens game. I remember I said, man, we're gonna go in there and make it happen. He's like, I don't know. I don't see it, man. Just too much going. And you was right. But the simple fact that you said this is Super Bowl or bust, you were damn straight. This offense is top 3 already. If you think about it, in the NFC, the only other offenses that you can complement this offense is the Eagles. I will give it to them because they're Super Bowl champions. You got to respect that. Detroit, but we don't know what Detroit's going to be like without the guidance of Ben Johnson. When it comes to the Eagles, we don't know the certainty of Jalen Hurts still. This Bucs offense, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, continuity matters. That's why JT dude was calling out the dipshit people out there saying, well, Greg Gaines doesn't do anything. Bullshit. Golston does things. Nelson does things. You are absolutely right. And guys, we got my man Slick right here, aka the British guy who's always fly. I told you he'll be here. Look, man, you had a lot of people waiting for you, Slick. Don't be doing people like that. They was like, oh my God, where's Slick?
I just realized something, and I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, why are we 45 minutes into this? You guys have had a fucking daylight savings time, haven't you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, we lost an hour. We lost an hour over here.
Oh God, we haven't had hours yet, so I'm like, that time's less now.
It's all right, my man. Don't worry, you're here.
And the second time this motherfucker's caught me out.
No worries. You are here, but we were talking about the grades of the draft. My man JT here gave us a B. I said an A-. You know me, I'm an optimist. What about you?
I'm gonna go with a B+ because we didn't make any big splashes, but what we did was dependable. We didn't get like the flashiest pass rusher out there, but we got a guy who's got a lot of like. I quite like the guy that we got because of someone said, "Oh, well, he only got a couple of sacks or 1 sack last season," but he was traded to that team. He didn't want no part of that organization. I believe he had a camp holdout as well because he wanted to kind of say, "I really don't want to fucking be here." He didn't start every game. That's probably a mixture of. I doubt it's down to injury. It's probably a mixture of disgruntled employee, doesn't want to play, trying his best not to play if he can help it, and the attitude. So they probably thought, well, if he's got an attitude, then we'll bench him. So this is going to be a guy who's going somewhere that he wants to be. We know that Coach Bowles gets a lot out of these guys if he can get a good one. So I'm hoping, you look at the years before that, there was like 10 sacks. He's not an elite pass rusher, but he's a very, very good pass rusher. If we add somebody else in the draft as well, somebody a bit more developed, maybe we get a little bit more out of Yaya Diaby, and he becomes, instead of becoming a role player, he becomes a heavy down player. If not, you've still got the rotation of Anthony Nelson on one that you can work through on that side too. And like you said earlier, Greg Gaines, I think, has an enormous value. People don't realize that he's probably used more when they're trying to do a 4-man set. And it worked really well. I mean, at the moment we're stacked for talent. He is just that big guy. You need to have someone. You need to have someone to cover for Vita Vea, and he does a decent enough job. Obviously, no one's Vita Vea, but he does a decent enough job to hold the nose position to allow someone like Vita Vea to get fresher. Because at the end of the day, that's a big human being. On defensive line, you always need depth. It's not like offensive line where the same 5 guys go out because you want that continuity. With defense, you want dogs off a fucking leash, and if you've got a tired dog, they're not functioning. That's why there is rotation on those. You will see rotation with those guys.
100%. And JT, I want to back this up to you now, because let's go on this part on the offensive side. Since you said this is boom or bust, which part of the offense are you excited to see explode? The run or the pass?
I think right now I'm still more excited for the pass, just because we still have Mike Evans and we still have Chris Godwin, and we know that those guys in their early 30s, our time left with them is limited. And as good as Bucky Irving is, and he's electric, he's incredibly elusive, and as good as his offensive line is, I think those are still more of a compliment to one of the all-time great wide receiver duos and an offense that likes to air it out. I mean, it's a beautiful balance, but I still really am just appreciating Mike Evans and all the greatness he brings, and Chris Godwin, and we just got to soak in true greatness when we got it.
Amen. How about you, Slick? Do you feel the same?
I'll have to go. It's a passing league, right? You need to have that 1-2 punch that if you need someone to get the hard yards, they can get the hard yards, set up a good first down, confuse them with a few bits and pieces. But generally, it's the passing game that's going to win you a chip, right? If you've got a good enough running game, then you've got the balance of defenses can't be one-dimensional against you. It's that kind of whole, pick your poison kind of vibe, yeah? You want a functional run game, but you don't want the run game to be your heart and soul, because once you become that, once someone stops your run game, you are flat out of gas. If you're a pass first team, a passing centric team that has a good run game, now you really are lethal, because you look at the talent we got in the past game. I believe JT was talking about a gentleman who got hot during the end of the season, like six or seven touchdowns, I think it was, wasn't it? I couldn't remember if it was 6 or 7, but about 600 yards, maybe 4, something in that ballpark. That's only going to trend upwards. We know what Trey Palmer brings, nothing. So we'll see. I wanted to talk about when we get into this a little bit as soon as possible, really, I guess. Free agents that haven't been signed yet, which ones you'd like to see come back, and which ones you'd see like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I feel you guys. We're all in the same agreement. The passing is what's going to make the run game lethal. Not only lethal, fellas, devastating. Now, I want to ask you guys this: what is the most single season record of receiving touchdowns?
Probably 20.
23, 2007. Guess what wide receiver that is?
I'm thinking Megatron.
Randy Moss.
Oh, Randy Moss. Oh,
when he
that
was
makes
with the
sense.
Patriots in 2007. Hot take right here, ladies and gentlemen. If I am the Bucs and I'm Baker Mayfield and them, and you really want to secure Evans to the point where he is just undisputed, I think he'll be undisputed now. But at this point, you're putting this shit on like, okay, this will put him in the top 5 of all time. Target Evans to break that record. What did we all just say? You have this is a passing league. So it's not as hard as it would have been back then. It's actually a lot easier. If anything, what do we love about Mike Evans? He's a red zone nightmare. Hell, I'd say 70% of the time when you are near the red zone, you target him. And why do I say that, gentlemen? Because by doing that, you're going to frustrate defenses and they're going to want to put all their attention to Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is going to be effective. Now, I don't see Chris Godwin coming into his full physical peak again until maybe week 10 or 11. And that's where Jalen McMillan will pick up the slacks. And then here's another guy that I think is going to be crucial in the passing game that nobody still knows about yet. Devin Cope, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that name. Devin Cope has speed. You remember JT, just see, he's got speed. So now you can stretch this, you can spread the ball out, and also you can be creative with plays. So now I think that this offense, that's why I said this offense is going to be scary. Graham Barton, y'all, this is another hot take. He's going to be a Pro Bowler next season. Graham Barton, I think, is going to show out. And I think a part of him, guys, and you've seen this, Slick, he's still going to be like, I don't ever want to fuck up like I did in the playoff against the Commanders. Fumble. I think that some players like that, JT and Slick, you've seen coaches, you've seen players like that, Slick, where that one moment where they say, never again. Graham Barton is going to be that never again. JT Olsen's cousin, Cody Mock, wink, wink. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, that's a good thing. That's a compliment. I think Cody Mock is the reincarnation of Ryan Jensen. He's nasty. He's aggressive. He's fearless. And Wirfs, enough said, guys. Wirfs is the best fucking tackle in football. JT, who is better than Wirfs? Who's better than Wirfs at tackle?
Nobody.
Thank you. And see, guys, if he agrees, it's a fact. That man has been that motherfucking man has been all pro at left and right. Don't give me this Pensay shit. If you put Pensay on the left side, I guarantee you he shits the bed. There's just everybody is just guys. I guarantee you, because it pisses me off, JT and Slick, because I guarantee you this: if Wirfs was on another team instead of the Bucs, if he was on Dallas, if he was on the Rams or the fucking Eagles, they'd be super glazing him. It's just because he's in Tampa. Fuck y'all out there. Wirfs is the best. So this offense is elite. And you're right, JT. We were top 5, Slick, without Godwin for the most of the season. Can you imagine, knock on wood and pray, if we stay healthy on the offense alone, ladies and gentlemen, will get us 9 games. I said what I said, 9 games. Just 9 games. Who's going to stop this? Have you seen the schedule?
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Schedule's not that bad, ladies and gentlemen. Like the hardest teams that we'll play is Detroit, the Bills, and the Eagles. That's it. And those are 3 losses. I've already stated that the Bucs. I've already had one of my predictions, but I ain't gonna say it just yet until the draft. But those are 3. If those are losses, those are 3 right there, and that's it. I'm not worried about the Cardinals. The Seahawks are shit. I'm just saying. The Falcons, I think they might give us a run, maybe. Not worried about the Panthers. The Saints.
Oh, did you see that breaking Saints news today while we're recording? Cam Jordan coming back for season 15.
Oh, he robbing him. I swear he's got that damn owner with gunpoint saying, pizza, stick him up, do something, because Cam Jordan, oh man, look, that shit gets better and better. And the simple fact that staying with Derek Carr, Woo, man. Damn, it feels good to be a Buccaneer. I love it. But
Can you imagine we inflict that another losing season onto this team? He finishes his career being a nobody.
And he should be. Fuck him. Put it this way, JT, you're right. I agree with you. I'm so excited. Because at this point, Bowles is getting everything he asked for. Because we used to give him shit, but now Bowles, everything is in your corner. So now Light, we already know Light gonna knock out the draft. So it's up to him. So I wanted Slick and JT, I wanted y'all to bring that up again. Who else in free agency were you looking at, Slick?
I think at the moment you got to see if you can pair him with another pass rusher. Maybe you look at an intermediate wide receiver. But I like, to be honest, I really like Sterling Shepard to come back. I don't think it'd be an expensive deal. I think he likes being here. I like the passion that he brings. I think he picked up the slack when needed. I'm not too sure what's out there, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying we're a complete roster at all because we're not. I'm just not sure what safety we're going to get that's going to be worth the value of money when we can go and get one in the draft. Right. Another pass rusher would be ideal in an ideal world, but I don't know how much money that we're operating on because we have to have a certain amount of money just to be able to draft, right? And all the other like depth free agents and what have you. So I'm not too stressed about making any big moves. I think getting a punter was big. We needed to get a punter that could, fucking punt. And we got a pass rusher that's going to actually add some teeth to the defense. If we do decide to go down the route, it all depends on what the Buccaneers are eyeing at right now. Do they go down the route of bringing in a veteran linebacker to work alongside Levante? I wouldn't be opposed to it. Maybe you can find one that had a bit of a down year, who's in the twilight of his years and wants to come back and would love to work with someone like Levante. Maybe that's the play that's in play because we don't have a lot of money, so it ain't going to be a pizzazz, flashy signing. It's going to be depth, or it's going to be a guy who's trying to prove himself on a 1-year deal.
Agreed. What about you, JT?
I'm still looking at that linebacker market, and most of the big names I liked in there are already gone. But there are a couple of depth guys who I think could really carve out a role. Kaiser White, he's kind of I think he started as like a safety, and he's moved to a coverage linebacker. Isaiah Simmons, kind of the same. He was kind of a hybrid safety linebacker nickel coming out of Clemson.
Yes, sir.
And dude's a freak athlete, and I think that's kind of the role we're looking for is – I just want a depth guy, because Servatier Dennis, I think he'd be a very adequate to above average starter. Levante David. You can get your future of linebacker in the draft. So you just bring in that coverage guy off the bench, a nice rotational piece. That's all I'm hoping for.
Hey man, guys, look, I'm invested in this fucking draft now. Here's why. We know that Light is gonna knock it out, at least 2 of them in the 3rd, 4th round. Or 5th, maybe even 5th, because that's who he is. He's special. I got 2 guys, and I brought this up, JT. You are the man right here who knows about the college guys. So if it's a yay or nay or that's interesting. I saw one guy. Are you familiar with Azariah Thomas from FSU?
I am.
6'1", 4'5". I think, in my opinion, I like his speed. I like the fact that he's good. He can move from side to side. I think that's what we need because you know this, and Slick, you know this. Bowles, sometimes his scheme can be too complex. This is where I want the younger guys who have youth, where Levante can just work on his side, where maybe he can give them a few pointers, but because they have that athleticism youth, they can move up and down because that's what was killing us. Because we remember KJ Britt, it wasn't that he didn't know where the ball was. He was just so fucking slow that he couldn't get to it. So imagine a guy like Azariah Thomas, 6'1" Slick, 4'5" flat. He can make things happen. That's somebody that – do you think that he would be in the 3rd or 4th round, JT, or do you think he's going to be gone before then?
I think he's going to be more of a 2nd round kind of guy. Personally, I like him better than some of the bigger names like Siobhan Ravel.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't think Thomas is a good fit for what the Bucs want to do. And
Okay.
you know this, the Bucs do a lot of off coverage. We do a lot more zone these days than we did under Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
Thomas is a press man kind of guy. So in the Bruce Arian days, he would be a perfect fit for this team. But with what Todd Bowles is doing now, he is not going to do well in the cushion coverage. He's not going to do well as a guy who's going to break on balls and make plays that a zone corner would. He only has 2 career interceptions. He's really more of a Carlton Davis type. You put him in press man, he's maybe a top 10 corner in the league. You put him in zone, and he's a disaster.
Gotcha. Okay. I like that honesty. Shit, I just feel like I just need somebody that I just need that. I need some aggressiveness. Maybe, and Slick said it before, I'm giving Bowles the benefit of the doubt. What if a Hassan Reddick can establish the type of pressure where he goes, you know what? Maybe I can be a little more aggressive and stop being a bitch because AJ's been calling me on that shit, but I want to shut his ass up because it's getting on my nerves. And I'm tired of him talking about me and that guy dude talking about my man tits. That's my business. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut these fucking guys up and get some guys in here and do something. Fuck. So but I think you're right. And I got one more guy. I got another guy. Another guy from Cal, Mark Harris, 5'11", 455, man press. That man, now, do you think that he can adapt to a zone coverage, or is he another one where, in your opinion, it just wouldn't fly if Bowles doesn't change his philosophy?
Honestly, he's not one I've watched. I'm familiar with Noel Williams from Cal. I haven't watched that guy. So I couldn't say, but from what I've heard listening to coaches talk, it's way easier to teach a player to go from man coverage to zone than the other way around. So I think anyone you are trying to convert into that, because we know the Bucs have a type, they like long athletic corners. If you're looking at a guy like that who's more of a press guy and they really like that player, I think they would consider it more than a guy who's a more natural zone player but doesn't hit their athletic thresholds.
I got you, man. Look, I've been starting to watch more of the college people. Like, I've been going back and rewatching it because sometimes I watch certain games, but I've seen certain players that I go, okay, this is why you're right. This year's draft is not about generational talent. It's about depth players. It's about players that are fitting the part. And this Bucs team, that's all we need. I think save your money because I think we've done a lot. Because now, what would you do? Scenario time, and Slick, it's your turn. What if, this is crazy, y'all. What if the Cincinnati Bengals, and this ain't because it is Cincinnati, they will do, AFC North is known to do some silly shit. What if they say, hey, we'll give you Trey Hendrickson, guys. We just want a first, and we want Rachaad White. Are you pulling the trigger, Slick? Go.
If I can make the cap work, then yes. 100%. If I can make the cap work, then yes. But I don't think we're going to be able to make the cap work. It depends if we can get them to eat some of the contract. There's so many variables that go into it. In an ideal world, fuck yeah.
How about you, JT?
I'm on the fence only because I've heard the asking price is lower than a first-round pick.
What?
I've heard it's more like second-round pick. So
He's licking his lips now.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm about to grow hair back on the top of my head. Did you say second round?
That's what I've heard from, the bigger main media people who are more connected than I am.
Oh,
that's what some of the reports out there floating around are. And, you never know what's going on behind closed doors, but
damn.
That is kind of the word on the street.
It is Cincinnati, though. It is Cincinnati. They are some cheap bastards. What if, guys, I'll lose it. What if they do say, Olsen, a third, and we want Trey Palmer and Rachaad White. Are you packing Trey Palmer and Rachaad White's bags for him?
Oh, I'll drive him straight to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati ain't too far from you.
No.
Look, I will Venmo you or Cash App you, and look, I'll send you a video, and I'll be like, Rachaad, it's been fun, but bye-bye. Trey, you fucked it up. Oh my God, let that happen. If that's the case, then you're right. What if Cincinnati gets desperate and they do drop to a third? Because at this point, they need all the help they can get because they still have no defense. Their defense is going to be Cincinnati cat shit. So, look, look, Light works in mysterious ways. Light knows how to make things happen. That's what we are on. I think we're all on the same page about that because that's why this free agency. Slick and I said this, JT, that the Bucs need to make an impact in free agency. Fuck just trying to go for the draft because JT Olsen, I want to ask you this because we have some nitwit, nincompoop, dumbass Buck fans out there saying, well, we could have drafted a pass rusher at 19 and all would have been well. JT, who the fuck were we going to get at 19 as a pass rusher that's immediately going to make us a Super Bowl contender? Please explain that. Can you explain that to these common folks that pass rushers just don't immediately come out the gate and turn into Reggie White?
Well, I think if you're going to draft a first-round pass rusher, even someone I like Mike Green or Donovan Ezeraku, those are guys who are very polished. They can come in and make an immediate impact. Those guys in that scenario, that's only part of the solution. There is not, unless you're at the tip top, you're getting an Abdul Carter or a Jared Verse, someone who's going to hit the ground with 12, which is rare. You need more than one guy. You need a Khalil Mack or a Hassan Reddick and a Yaya to help supplement that. Then when you're running waves, you can bump Yaya inside, or you can do different stunts and different looks. And you got Reddick and Mike Green or Jamar Stewart or Mykel Williams or whatever pass rusher you like coming off the edge. And, you got guy after guy, and the offensive line gets no break from it. It's relentless. And it's not a one-man kind of solution unless that man is like Myles Garrett. And
I'm glad you said that because Jared Verse only got 4.5 sacks last year. Yaya did better than him, and Yaya was a 4th. So this is our point, ladies and gentlemen. Pass rushers do not come out like that. It takes time.
The corners usually don't develop it until at least the second year.
Slick, hey, that's on your look, Slick. You explain that to them because I'm tired of people that everybody thinks they're going to draft the next prime. We saw that.
Have a look at the corner. I don't know if I could go. But there's obviously some corners like a Jalen Ramsey that are special that instantly hit the ground running. But when you look at and JT might back me up on this one. Same with the pass rusher. You'll probably have like one or two that are like elite from day. Like I wouldn't even say elite, Pro Bowl caliber players from day one. The rest will need to develop, and to get one of them, it's really difficult. It's not that simple. And you saw it with Colton Davis when we drafted him 2 years before he was a starter. You saw it with Jamal Dean had a little bit more of a struggle because he had to fight out SMB, Sean Murphy-Bunting, who again took years to a couple of years to develop, and then we brought in Zion McCullum a couple of years to develop. But there's a trend here. They usually take 2 years. I think when you're asking so many different things from the corner position, because a lot of college playbooks aren't as robust or as deep as an NFL one. So it takes a lot more time to learn the intricacies of those, the communications, the differences. Just to touch on something to do with cornerback play, I'm interested to see if we continue down this off zone coverage thing that we've been doing. I wonder if it was a personnel decision because he didn't believe he had the horses to be able to execute press man at an adequate level. Because we did have Jamal Dean out a fair few times, which meant let's face it, we had a guy off the street pretty much playing for us.
I don't want to see this shit no more. I don't want to see this shit. This is disgusting.
But I think we're going to keep seeing it, though. That's the thing.
Look, I just need Bowles to just literally have
playing a game of whack fuck here.
Yeah, I just need him to have this a moment right here.
Listen, we fucked up.
That's it. It's not working. It's not working. Put it this way. Any of us on this screen right now, if you take an NFL corner and it's 4th and 1 and they backed them up 8 yards, we're getting that first down 90% of the time. That's just what it is. It's not working. It's not going to work. I really hope that he understands. I told Slick this already, but Olsen, if I am Light in the Glazers, Bose is writing down aggression, the definition 10,000 times. Like the Simpsons, when he write that shit, he's gonna be writing aggressive. I need him to be aggressive because you're right. No matter what, JT, if he continues this bullshit philosophy, unless Hassan and Yaya are 13 plus sacks on both sides, it won't mean a damn thing for our corners. Especially like you said, like the new guys that might come in and say, I don't understand this shit, coach. And
I find with the off coverage, I don't think it helps the pass rush because you're allowing free releases, and free releases allow quarterbacks to key quicker and go through their progressions quicker. You just hit them with the lightning quick game, which is what a lot of teams have done to us when we've been in those situations. But personally, I don't think it works. And I don't think it helps the pass rush because the pass rush, I as a coach, I believe that the pass rush and the coverage work in tandem. So if you've got shitty pass rushers, your corners, your coverage guys have to work extra harder to make sure that they cover. If you have an elite pass rush, you can get away with average corners because at the end of the day, they won't be as exposed because the quarterback's got somebody in his face 90% of the time.
Right. Unless you have,
and if you have elite corners and safeties, they can buy time for your pass rush.
Right.
So if you have good both everything, then yeah, ideally in an ideal world, you would have elite play from both sides, and they've got no chance, right? That shit out of luck.
Boom, shakalaka laka boom. There it is, right then and there. There it is. And I know we got dude who is lurking back in the trenches. He's ready to fire off one of them nasty jokes. Come on in here, dude. Go ahead and say something.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
I got too much fucking time on my hands, guys.
I was just gonna say, dude's got like 4 or 5 walk-up songs. I have no production value on my show. I don't even have a single video.
We all need to get one. We all need entrances.
Hey, we got some breaking news, a live look at Jaguar fans after 3 days of free agency. Remember, the Jaguar fans were the ones that are going, we got Liam Cohen, we're coming for Chris Godwin, we're going to sign all the big free agents, right? Okay. Yeah. 3 days in, here's Jaguar fan. With that said, hey, that's my dog right there. No pun intended. First of all, shout out to Slick. Yeah, Slick, over here in the States, we leap forward, we fall back, we do all this crazy shit. The fact of the matter is, there's still the same amount of sunshine in every fucking day, you idiots. With that said, shout out to JT bringing the free agency and draft analysis that we all have grown to love. And I like the defensive back from Florida State. And what I'll say is maybe, as JT and I think one of you guys alluded to, maybe we're playing this cushion coverage because Todd Bowles doesn't believe he has a man or a lockdown or whatever the terminology is, corner that can play. So that said, I can't get off of Pat McAfee's belt buckle. All right. First of all, Pat, we're on Twitter. I'm going to retweet it and tag you. You know why? Because we're going to keep tagging you guys like Orlovsky and all that until you respond. Why? Not because we need attention, because you need to hear what we say. Slick, you weren't here for the first joke of the day, but you guys did bring up the NFC North, I believe. You were talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
AFC? You mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the AFC North, NFC, AFC, you know, what the fuck ever. Yep. That said, do you guys know, or do we have any idea who's the quarterback going to be of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Shit.
We have an idea.
I don't even think they know.
Do we think it's going to be Aaron?
That's looking like that's how it's trending.
But we're not sure about that yet. But here's what we do know, and if this offends people, It's a joke. So don't take it like a dick. Don't take it too hard. Okay? It's a joke. So I'll ask all three of you guys, what do the Pittsburgh Steelers and the police have in common?
Shit. I don't know. I'm lost on that one. But go ahead.
They both beat the shit out of the Browns.
That was worse than the first one.
Here you go.
Was that too much?
That was worse than the first one.
I just like seeing Slick and JT. I love that. They have the most uncomfortable. I ain't gonna chuckle hard enough laugh. I love that shit. Thank you.
Okay, and just to be fair, because that wasn't a racist joke, but it had racial tones. We can all agree on that, correct?
Oh, that shit was funny.
All right, so
funny is funny.
So just to provide fair time, why is the sea so salty?
Argument.
Because when the Titanic sunk, all the crackers fell out of it. No? Okay. All right.
The saltines.
The saltines, exactly. So why does Barbie never get pregnant?
Ken ain't got no dick.
Because Ken comes in another box.
I like that one.
Oh my gosh.
And last but not least,
Comedy corner.
Last but not least, because I am here in the panhandle of Florida, or as we call it, the BIBLE belt.
Yep.
Jesus loves you is awesome to hear while you're at church, but not so much when you're in a Mexican prison.
Oh no. That guy reminds me of the scene from Blue Streak where Martin was like, don't nobody want to go to jail in Mexico. Boy, they'll put all kind of burritos in your ass. You could be somebody's bitch or senorita. Yep, I ain't going nowhere. Yep. But I'll give you the last one because JT, I know you got to get ready to roll out. But what is it that you want to see your first 3 rounds in the draft? What do you hope the Bucs, where you want them to strike lightning at and which players do you have sorted out?
Honestly, it'll depend how the board breaks because they've put themselves in such a good position. They can go in a number of different directions. I still want them to go pass rusher first round, defensive back second round, linebacker third round. That's kind of my ideal pecking order. Get a Donovan Ezeraku, get a Xavier Watts or a Benjamin Morrison in the second round, and like a Carson Schlesinger as a coverage linebacker in the third round. That's kind of my ideal scenario. But if they went linebacker first round with a guy like Jihad Campbell and pass rusher in the second round, that'd be okay too because they've done all the footwork to give themselves depth and flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like it. I like that. Hey, you know who else is saying in the Bucs is like, hey, motherfucker, don't forget about me, Chris Broswell. I'm leaving hope out for that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what do we say about pass rushers? The second year, game's going to slow down. Not everyone's going to hit the ground running first year round. A quick question for you: what do you think? You said you think the Buccaneers would go down more of a zone-based corner. So, what do you think of LSU's Zy Alexander?
I haven't watched him yet. He's still on my list of players to get to. But I think he hits their size profiles because I think in Jason Light's entire tenure, he's only drafted 2 corners who were under 6 feet tall.
Yeah, he's 6'1".
Vernon Hargraves and MJ Stewart, who both absolutely flopped in Tampa. So I know he sticks to that size.
Get him tall. Fuck those short guys. Fuck those short kings.
Which makes me sad because Jahdae Barron is like 5'11 and a half, and he's awesome. And I'd love for the Bucs to draft him from Texas, but that's
in
just
the
not
slot. It can be done in the slot. You can be shorter in the slot. You can get away with being that little nifty terrier.
Oh, he can do slide. He can do outside. He could be Brian Branch. He could be Tre'Davious White. He is just a do-it-all player.
Damn, Branch, huh? Oh, you put him on that level. Okay. I like that.
He's really good.
I like that.
I think he's more versatile than Branch, but nickel, safety, corner, he can do it all.
I like that, man. I like that. Well, thanks with that, JT. Please, we appreciate your time and always your expertise on the draft. Tell everybody if you got anything coming up where they can follow you. You know what I'm saying? And you hold it down.
Yeah, we're going to be going live on our show, The Creamsicle Chronicles, here on Friday at 9:30. My co-host, Garrett Ballard, is expected back. He was supposed to be back this past week, but it took me too long to get my kids to bed, and he passed out. So we're going to try and get the family to bed early, and we'll be breaking down free agency and talking our draft prep. We're really starting to just now get into the conversations about draft after doing all the footwork of evaluating a lot of these guys and watching the tape. And, I think I've watched about 75, 80 players so far, but my goal is to get to around that 150 mark. So, we're getting into it. We got a lot of work to do still, but we're going to start talking about it this week.
All right. Thanks a lot, my man. Always a pleasure, JT. You got to come back on here. Don't be a stranger. Now get on up in here and talk more draft, because we going to start talking about this the closer we get to it. Because if we get Azaria, that's gonna be some woo. But yeah, you take care of yourself, JT. And again, always a pleasure, my man.
Yeah. Hey, as long as my 6-year-old cooperates, I'm happy to come back anytime.
My man.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's
My
rough.
6-year-old's the same. My 6-year-old's exactly the same.
And we're gonna take JT off with a little rock and roll. JT, you like rock and roll, right?
Yes, there you go, JT. You get an outro.
I'll take it.
And I just booted his ass right off the damn.
I'm sorry, but I was doing my best to try to find the rhythm in that. I was like, I'm like, what? How do you move to this shit? But no worries,
just
worries.
Bang the head. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, that's it. You just bang your head.
Just do that.
So
there's no Kendrick Lamar 2-step. There's no crip walk. It's just
Lamar
bang the head. As
Bucs.
simple as just going. That's it.
Okay.
But if you want to get really freaky with it, and you got that long hair, you give it that spinny shit.
Oh hell no!
All my damage shine, 'cause they really damage.
Damn it! No. Yeah, I feel you. When I see people with the long hair shit, I think of raves. I'm like, LSD, all kind of nasty sex, and whatever, and mosh pits.
Don't tempt dudes with a good time.
Yeah, I can see you being a mosh pit type person in your younger days, out there throwing.
Hey, I drove.
Fuck, I bet.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, I drove from Tampa, Florida to Seattle, Washington to watch Metallica open up their Injustice for All tour. You want to talk about headbanging? Go check out Metallica's live shit Binge and Purge on YouTube. Front center row, you'll see the dude, age 18, 19, with hair down to his ass, got the finger horns in the air. I don't remember a motherfucking thing, but we were there. Yes, if you want to, definition of headbanger here. The problem is when you get above 50 and you bang your head, you end up cracking your damn spine or breaking a fucking collarbone. So,
damn.
With that said, we huge shout out to JT and we are live here on YouTube. We've been shared all over with this show on Facebook, Blue Sky, as well as Twitter. Ain't calling that shit X until you're gone. Then we can call it X, like X, you motherfucking fascist little fucking cunt. Anyway, Slick.
Hey, we got fucking free cars out in front of the advertisement for the fucking White House. This White House presentation brought to you by Tesla.
Tesla, where your stocks tank and your cars explode. Not to mention my favorite part about that is they're now referred to as a swastika.
Swastika. Yes, they not too far from it, but yeah, I agree. But yes, fuck y'all right now. Y'all ain't shit.
They don't drive on the left; they drive on the right.
Yeah, they drive on the right for sure. And with all that said, middle finger in the air, waving it like I just don't care. Because here's the thing, bro. I've been around long enough. I've seen enough shit go down in this country and around the world that I know if you're supporting it, you're part of it. And that's all I'm going to say about this whole political bullshit. Here's what I will say. Again, man in the upper left-hand corner, he's holding it down for the youth. That's all we're going to say. You figure it the fuck out from there. Slick as always, brother. You're the UK legend now. You're Slick. You're Coach Slick. You're the guy who not only talks ball, he coaches ball, and he does the whole time with a fucking goblet of fucking pirate rum in his cup. He ain't fucking playing. You talk about, hey, when all you people out there think about the UK and the punk rock movement and all that, you're thinking about Slick when he was younger. He's got the sleeve.
Y'all British stars, man. Look, they don't die. Y'all can go through all kinds of shit, and they will find out.
The apocalypse will happen. They'll just be fucking aging British rockers.
That's fine. Like y'all, all of y'all got some Ozzy genes in there. When I was 13, I did my first line of blow, and I had 3 8 bulls, and I did a little bit of croc, and I went to sleep.
No, it's
and,
mad.
Hey man, wait, you got a camera on me?
Like then they'll ask you. Well,
And the thing is, Ozzy Osbourne's literally about 20 miles from where I live.
See, exactly. And then they'll ask, well, what did you do? Oh, I went to sleep and I got some orange juice in the morning, and I was okay.
You ever seen the video of him cooking breakfast?
Yes.
He's fucking pouring orange juice on the fucking kitchen counter. And then just asking questions. Yeah, we used to all do all these fucking drugs. And he's like, now I just can't be bothered. And he went, what's it like now? And he went, it's fucking madness. And I'm like, oh my God, there's fucking burnt food. There's fucking orange juice all over the kitchen.
Y'all orange juice is like our Robitussin over here back in the day, or our Vicks. If you're sick, or if you something wrong, or our ginger ale in our culture.
Like a bit of ginger ale.
If you fucked up, get some ginger ale and some chicken noodle soup. No matter what, I got Ebola. Don't worry. The ginger ale juice will suck through the pores and get you back up.
Oh man, you got a sprained ankle, you got a broken leg, you got a compound fracture. Rub some tussin on it. Got to put that Robitussin on it.
And then the remedy that really heals you is The Price is Right. So when you had to stay home, 11 a.m., that boring ass show came on, and that was it. So that was our medicine over here. Ginger ale, chicken noodle soup, Robitussin or Vicks, and The Price is Right.
See, I feel like my experience with gingers are a lot different than yours, AJ.
Yeah.
Hey, red on the head like a dick on a dog, baby. Bring her on. That's all I got to say.
But back to what I was saying though about that offensive shit though. I mean this, dude. I'm glad you're on here. I want the Bucs this year because JT said and he agrees. This is a Super Bowl or bust year. I want them to go for Evans to go for the fucking record, dude. Do you know who holds the record of the most receiving touchdowns in the NFL single season?
Holy fuck! God.
I give you a hint. It was in the year of 2007.
Is it Megatron?
Hey, Slick said the same thing. That's crazy. It's actually not. Megatron held the most season, I think, for yards until Cooper, but it's actually Randy Moss, 23 touchdowns.
Oh well, dude, Randy Moss, bro. Let me for all you youngsters out there who's talking about OBJ and Jamar Chase, our GOAT wide receivers. Motherfucker, if you mean GOAT by over there in the fucking pen ruffling through the fucking shit, sure. They're decent, they're good, but don't put their name up next to Randy Moss.
They do it all the time, then.
If you saw Randy Moss play, you'd shut the fuck up. But you didn't. That's the problem with these generational discussions of who the GOAT is. There's nobody from my generation that watched Joe Montana that believes there's a better quarterback than him, than maybe Tom Brady. There's nobody from my generation that thinks there's a basketball player out there that is more clutch and more well-rounded from defense to offense to everything than MJ, Michael fucking Jeffrey Jordan. There's nobody that thinks Patrick Mahomes from my generation could even hang out for a whole season in the 1980s and 1990s NFL. I'll say this. Randy Moss, for all the little extracurricular bullshit that he did, you know, the mooning of the fans and all that, motherfucker, today he'd be celebrated for doing that. He was chastised back then. I remember Joe Buck clutching his fucking pearls going, this is just a disgusting portrayal of professionalism by Randy Moss. He should be suspended. Joe Buck, have you seen your forehead, bro? You should be
That's
suspended.
Hey.
But
Like
again,
your hairline suspending your forehead, bro.
but let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. You just said it earlier, Slick. It's a passing league. It's not out of the question for Mike Evans to get 24. He's a red zone nightmare, so you could target him there. It's just if you want to, if that is to be the ultimate fuck y'all. Could we say this? That automatically puts him in top 5 of all time, dude or Slick. If he gets 24 to 25 receiving touchdowns in a single season, does that put him in the top 5?
Probably puts in there via touchdowns anyway, regardless. Like he's a top, without like looking at it right this split second, which I will do right now.
Well, I know statistically, I think if he gets 10 more touchdowns, he's like already in the top. He'll be in the top 5 then.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Bro, these younger generation, and I get it, I'm old, right? Okay, cool, thanks. But no disrespect to Saquon Barkley, hell of a running back, but he has that season last year, and now you guys are talking about is he better? Is he the greatest running back of all time? Motherfucker,
Yeah.
You know Barry Sanders exists. You know Walter Payton exists. And then you'll be like, yeah, but that's old. Joe, if you weren't there, if you didn't witness it with your own eyes, you shouldn't be talking about this shit,
They
dude.
played the more physical era of football. I like Saquon. Don't get it twisted, but
Now, what did most teams do back then?
run the ball.
Pound the fucking rock.
So what did defenses do?
Load the box.
Do their best to fucking stop the run, right?
Yep.
The pass would be more. If you fucking Bear defense was probably a fucking staple if you went up against somebody like fucking Barry Sanders or you went up against an elite dude like that. You couldn't play no fucking nickel. No one was playing nickel in those days. Nickel was like that's a wild shit on fucking 4th down, right? That's what it was for. No one was subbing out the fucking linebacker for a DB. You fucking crazy? You're Barry Sanders out there. You fucking nuts.
No, you hit to hurt. I like Saquon, but again, Saquon is not. I don't even think he's still better than Derrick Henry yet. You could say Derrick Henry is.
You gotta have the longevity. Me and you've said this so many fucking times. It's so easy to christen the fucking next dude, like christening fucking Patrick Mahomes the GOAT already, and it's like,
and then got his cheeks.
I'm not going to turn around and say he won't be. I'm not even in that disagreement. I'm just saying he's not right now. Why are we trying to have a discussion about something that doesn't need to be had until another 10 years?
Because and I'm gonna answer why, and I'm not justifying it. I'm gonna clear the deck here with it. Because ESPN has gutted their fucking talent pool. They don't have any analysts. They got a couple belt buckles and a fucking douchebag who screams in the microphone. It's not about talking football.
We'll fucking sort out for him.
More emphasis is put on. I'll put it this way. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about the ratings for ESPN or NFL Network? They don't. They talk about the likes and shares and engagement because it's all about saying something that'll get someone's eyebrow raised up. You want me to raise somebody's eyebrow right now? Go fuck yourself. See how easy that was? And that's lazy. But the fact is, you're putting people like, and no disrespect to Saquon Barkley, but you're putting him above Eric Dickerson. You're putting him above Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. Dude, he'll tell you. Saquon will tell you. He's not on that level. Hell, think about the guys back in the 80s and 90s that played running back that didn't make you miss like Walter and Barry, that ran you the fuck over. Think about Christian Okoye. Think about Jerome Bettis. Think about our boy with the Houston Oilers with thighs for days that used to run around with the ball looking for a motherfucker to run over. Okay? It's a different league. It's a different era. But just because the era in the game has changed, you can't come out here disrespecting the greats of all time because you need a social media post that goes viral so you can tell your fucking boss, see there, Mr. Boss Man, I got ESPN trending again over there on Twitter. Yeah, and your belt buckle tells me you got a small dick too, okay? So now what? Hey, just because you played in Indianapolis, Pat, don't mean you have the right to wear a fucking cowboy hat. And let's just unpack that for a minute. If you're a grown man and you got on cowboy boots, a cowboy belt buckle, and a cowboy hat, and you don't know how to ride a horse, you're a cunt.
I love that.
Okay?
Yeah.
You out here like a grown man looking like howdy motherfucking duty at the airport, wondering why everybody's staring at you. They're staring at you because you want them to stare after you. Because as they say in Texas, you all had no cattle, bro. That's what we're talking about here.
He's an East Coast fucking Pennsylvania boy, isn't he?
And that's fine. And here's the thing, Pat, you were a decent punter. Hell, I'll say this about you, Pat. You were probably one of the best tackling punters in the league. Okay, cool. But you're still a punter, bro. You know when they had those rooms at the team facility, and this room had a door on it for the offense, and this room had a door on it for the defense, and this room had a door on it for the fucking cafeteria? What the fuck did the punter room have? It had a fucking corner over there with a cot in it. You know why? Because you're not relevant enough to be sitting in with the fucking actual football players. Your job is to walk on the field, adjust your fucking crotch, and kick a football and hope you don't get hurt.
Exactly.
Okay? And now you're an expert on football? Bro, I would rather hear some cocksucker talk about, oh, I play Madden and I know more. At least he's breaking down defenses and reading them a little bit. You're just over here spouting off on ESPN. Pat, you spend more time promoting yourself with that dumb, shocked look on your face than you do providing actual content. Remember when radio shows and podcasts, they actually talked about the game, not about who the player was fucking, not about what they wore walking up to the stadium. I don't give a fuck if you wore what you're walking up to the stadium, just like I don't give a fuck if Cam Newton wants to dress like a Batman villain. Whatever, bro. Get on the field and do it, or else shut the fuck up. And if I'm tuning into your show, I don't want to hear about vaccines and conspiracy theories. I want to hear about football and sports. And Pat, you have gutted ESPN of all of their talent. Every fucking analyst is gone. And then you guys put out these bullshit articles talking about, well, the Buccaneers really don't have a lot that they've improved on since last season. Motherfucker, improving is also keeping everybody in-house, something the Eagles can't seem to do after they win a ring. They traded motherfuckers. They letting dudes walk.
They can turn around and say Eagles are going to be fucking a top tier team, that they're going to be competing again for another bowl. Of course they are. But they just lost a shit, like you just said. They lost a shit ton of talent. There's another team, meanwhile, quietly staying the same and adding and going to work through the draft and get better. There's one team being depleted because guess what? When you win a Super Bowl, most guys fuck off. And guess a lot of those fucking Philadelphia boys, they are getting pastors anew with a shit ton of fucking money. They're going where the fucking bag is. And that fucking team will not be as talented as it was last year. Not in its not unless they can draft very well.
It's like, where was the unity they were talking about? Oh, we are a tight-knit group. No, the fuck you aren't. Soon as the bag was there, you left. Hey, Jason Light that didn't happen under Jason Light's watch. When we won the Super Bowl, the great Arian said, your ass ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you can't say you're going to run it back and then show up with a different squad. That's called trying again.
There it is. And Eagles, that's why nobody's taking you motherfucking serious. First of all, we know you. We got your number. You are skeezer for the right now, for this point. You are hoes. We know Jalen Hurts ain't your guy. All I got to do, look, Bo's probably sitting back like, yeah, that's my bad right there. All I got to do is just come out and have a linebacker run left, and he's going to go, what the fuck? So I agree. Again, at the end of the day, media, shut the fuck up. You don't know shit. Pat McAfee, again, I still want to run the Oklahoma drill with your bitch ass because I don't think you can tackle that well. I think you a gang tackler. You wait till somebody else get there. Guys, you ever went to school? We all went to school. And dude, you can understand this. You remember that guy who made the team because his dad puts money into the high school or some shit, and he rides the bench on the varsity. They let him in during garbage time when they're already winning. He makes a couple of shots, and now he walks around going, yeah, I'm the shit. That's Pat McAfee in a nutshell.
Hey, I got one for you. Here's a quote for you, and I know Jay-Z will know I know AJ will know exactly where it came from. Slick, I'm not sure, maybe. But Pat McAfee, you know the type, loud as a motorbike, but wouldn't squash a grape in a food fight.
Exactly.
Okay. Pat
Fuck you,
McAfee's the
brother.
guy. Pat McAfee's the guy that talks shit behind his homies and says, "Hold me back."
Yes, perfect example. I'll do it. Hey, you didn't grab my arm yet. Oh, I thought you were serious. And then he'll go, I'll see you. And you get Pat McAfee, he'll say dude like 10 times in one sentence. Dude, they're like, I just, if you think, bro, like I'm this guy, like, man, shut the fuck up. Get out here on the field so I can run your bitch ass over. And then AJ Hawk, you shut the fuck up. Maybe because you don't know how to talk right. That's why they put Pat McAfee over you. But damn it, I wouldn't take no orders from a person like that. Slick, you are a coach. Would you want somebody who's never coached football trying to tell you how to run some shit? You'll be like, why?
I'll laugh. I won't laugh. And you. I'm a big believer in ridicule where things are. You lull them into a false sense of security, and you go, okay. So what would you do in this situation? Be like, okay, what techniques would you teach for that to get the footwork right? And they'll go, what? Yeah, I saw that.
I would go into my Madden transfer portal and I would get a guy who has those attributes already because I don't know how to develop shit, let alone think for myself. What I'm doing is regurgitating all the shit I see in the headlines of all the fucking articles. Here's the thing, people. These websites, they put out articles. If you read the headline and comment, you're a cunt. If you read the headline and dismiss it, you're a cunt. Read the content. Judge for yourself. If ESPN puts out something and says, we're going to analyze this position today, and then you click on the article, there's no analyzing. It's opinion. Granted, analyzing is a bit of opinion, but it's always with a bias. And I'll say this. When have you heard them talk shit about how they were wrong about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers? When have you heard them talk shit about being wrong about Lamar Jackson's a running quarterback? When have you heard them say anything, one retraction on Baker Mayfield's on his fourth team in 3 years, ha ha ha, he's washed, and then he comes out and balls out? Where was the oops, my bad when y'all said Brady to the Buccaneers would be a disaster? Where's the oops, my bad when you said, well, once Brady leaves, the Buccaneers are going to go back down to the basement? Cam Jordan, you should just go in media because you've been practicing that bullshit your whole fucking career, bro. All right.
Ever since we won that Super Bowl, he'd be like, everybody's gonna be shit. Everybody's gonna be shit. Everybody's gonna be shit.
Just remember,
but we're still great.
Cam Newton celebrated
right now.
Cam Newton celebrated the Buccaneers re-signing Donovan Smith, talking about we gonna get to eat, right? Okay, pause for a second. Since that comment, Cam, you've got no playoff wins. Donovan Smith got 2 rings. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Shit. Oh shit!
And that's what.
Donovan Smith has 2 fucking rings and Cam fuck.
He got 2
Can
rings.
you just imagine being in that room? Imagine like they meet up, they hang out with like one of those fucking NFL parties. He got both rings on, and he's like, I remember you said something about me when I re-signed at Tampa. What was it? And he went, and he's like, yeah, something about like solid food, not needing solid food. Take a look at these bad boys, boy. How many you got? How many you got?
You got a Little Caesars pizza, bro.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like I'd be the one like, hey, let me see your ring, Cam. Oh, you ain't got one? Damn. What happened?
Hey, the only ring Cam Jordan has is one in his nose being led around by the man.
Exactly, man. But we're gonna wrap this bad boy because we'll be on here talking shit to other people all night, and I'll say some real shit off the wall, and I don't need that right now. But final thing up on when it comes to this draft now, dude, what are you looking for? What the first 3 picks? What do you? Where should they strike lightning at?
All right, me, I'm old school, obviously. The defense needs some help. My priorities: inside linebacker, defensive back, more specifically a corner, and edge rushers. You can never, ever have enough edge rushers. You just can't. In this league, you want me to prove it to you? Go watch the Eagles in the playoffs last year. Now, after they lost half the edge rushers, go watch them next year. And
Go watch them when
come
they
back.
start this year.
So in the first round, again, the cliche is it depends on how the board lands. But Jason Light's smart. If he sees a guy on the board who everybody else says is a high second round pick, and he's up at 19th overall, and that's his guy, Jason Light's going to pick his guy. So I'm going with inside linebacker, edge rusher number 1, and then either DB or inside linebacker the next 2. If you go look at the mock drafts on bucksreport.com, every one of our mock drafts is nearly all defense. Why? This is the draft not to get your defensive stars, to get your defensive meat, to get your depth, to get your rotational players. There are linebackers in the 3rd round that are better than any linebacker on our roster aside from Levante David. So you can't miss. Now, as I spoke to AJ offline a little while back, I could also see Jason Light packaging one of these players we talked about, whether it be Trey Palmer or Rashad White, and moving back up into the 1st round late to get that 5th round or that 5th-year option with a 1st-round pick. That said, if I'm the GM, I'm going defense, pick 1 through 6. They ain't got but 6 picks this year. They ain't got a 6th-rounder. So I'm going all defense all the time. And there's a precedent for this. And then to the extent where if you go back to Jason Light, let's say 6 years back, he had one draft where he drafted 3 or 4 defensive backs, and the following year he did it again. And he hit on half of them. The other halves are like MJ Stewart's and SMB. But Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield Jr., Mike Edwards, they all panned out or they all went somewhere else, and they're playing just fine. Do I got a problem with Mike Edwards? Yeah, I think he's done as far as elite level. But he got 2 rings too, boys. People don't want to talk about that. SMB, I think he was great when we had him for what we needed him for. But my point is there's a precedent here. And Jason Light, just like the 2 guys above me on the screen, he saw that offense last year. He saw it the year before. Maybe NFL analyst and all you chodes out there, maybe Dave Canales and Liam Cohen were so successful because the offense is fucking stacked. Maybe that's what the fucking deal is here. So with that said, what the Buccaneers do? Did they go out and try to bring in another guy from outside? No. They turned inward. They talked to the fucking offensive players. They talked to Baker Mayfield. They said, who do you think we should get? He's sitting right here. His name is Grizzard. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grizzard of Oz. We are now officially offensive first football team. And Jason Light knows that. And he knows as much as you guys score a shitload of points in this league, if you look at the Super Bowls and you look at the playoffs, defense wins championships. So build the depth, get you some inside linebackers, get you some edge rushers, and for the love of God and everything that is fucking holy, get me a defensive back that plays the ball in the air. I am tired of saying, hey, catch the ball and I'm finna tackle you. No, bro, that's your ball as much as it is his when it's in the air. Go get it. We need that guy. With that said, Slick, AJ, always a pleasure, never a chore. Special shout out to JT Olson. A double fuck you to Dan Orlovsky and Pat McAfee. If you don't like what I have to say, the DMs are always open on social media. Hell, emails are posted everywhere. Don't talk shit. Come get some shit, bro. I'm always here. And if you need help, I'll start a GoFundMe to get you a plane ticket to travel your bitch ass right to my front door. I am not the guy who talks. I am the guy that does.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So Slick, what about you? Same path or what?
I mean, it depends where the chips lie, right? But it's going to be a pass rusher. It's going to be a linebacker. I really like Joey Campbell. I'm a big fan of that. Jalen Walker seems to be a dude as well that you could look into that situation. And obviously the best coverage linebacker that can do. I mean, if the one in a one spot like it is in a first rounder,
Yeah.
you're probably going to be able to get a guy who can do a good mixture of both man and zone anyway. Usually one has a preference as you start to taper out of that. That's where I'm going. It doesn't have to be a specific one. I just want to. The first 3 picks have got to be defense. Got to be. Absolutely got to be. And it's got to be, like, as everyone's saying, it's got to be a DB, pass rusher, linebacker.
Cool.
You've got Levante David. We got to earn him a championship, right?
Yes.
We got to earn him a championship. Not only that, we got to get out other guys. And I love this part about the Buccaneers right now. There are, as we speak, unless things go AWOL, Levante David, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and potentially Will Golston. These are guys who've been on the team for over 10 years. Chris Godwin's not at 10 years yet, but his contract stipulates that by the time he's a free agent, he will have done 11 years, I believe. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
That's really fucking cool to turn around and say, we got guys on this squad. And there'll probably be a few more in the future, like your Antoine Winfields.
Worse
for sure. But right now, we've got 3 dudes, and the Buccaneers are keeping the old guard that struggled when we used to watch those shitty games where we get blown the fuck out and we get occasional wins. They've kept those guys, and those guys are now fucking winners. That makes me so happy.
Me too.
And they want to be here. And they're not, it's not just because the money's good and the tax breaks and the da-da-da-da. We're now a successful team. We're a team that wins football games. We're a team that's in the playoffs. We're a team that can compete. Yes, we want more. We're always hungry for more. We ain't satisfied with what we got. We got 1 ring, we want 2. And we're going to we're going to do whatever it takes to get 2. We found a quarterback that matches the ethos of Tampa Bay. That's awesome. We now got a running back that is gritty, tough, and can do a little bit of everything. And we've got a supporting cast behind him that is able, in the backups and what have you, to go and do the job. We just need to finesse this defense so it can be just as lethal as our offense. We need to be able to blow the fucking doors off anybody and say, nah, not today. Not on our fucking watch. We are going to fucking outgain you. And when you're on the field, you ain't gaining shit. Every time you're going to go on the field, you're going to we got fucking 10 yards and we did nothing.
Yep. 100%. I'm with you. I think you nailed it. Linebacker. A coverage one. Help Levante. You're right. This year, Levante, I want you to just do your job. Everybody else, learn. Corner. I want a corner that's going to put a fire under Dean's ass if we don't cut him. That's the next.
I think he'll restructure.
Either way, I want.
But I'm willing to give Dean the benefit of the doubt because he's had 1 bad season. I'm not willing to throw away that because he has been good.
That's cool.
But I need to see him step it the fuck up now.
Yep. I want hunger. I want him to be like, okay, we need this. And like you said, we'll talk about it some more. But defense, this is the time to be aggressive. That's all I'm going to say on that. Be aggressive. Bowles, you know what I'm talking about. So on that note, I'm going to roll out of here. Always good seeing you, Slick. Buck fans, catch me on my TikTok, AJ Turnup. That's where I get shit done and get shit started. So check it out. YouTube channel. It's about Buck and Time. All right. Y'all be easy. Go Bucks. Slick, I'll holler at you later, my man.
I'll catch you soon, brother.
Take care of yourself.
And you. Okay, guys, that is pretty much the end of the show. My dumbass didn't realize that you guys had a time change. You had your daylight savings, which means mine is soon. Because it's usually the other way around. We usually have ours, and then you guys have yours. That's the one that's in the in the autumn, winter, or the fall. This time, this one's crept up on me, and I've not realized. And otherwise, I would have changed the time because they were all asking me, "Oh, what time can you do, Slick?" And I'm like, I can do 7:45. I'm like, okay, cool. Because, 7:45, 7:30 was how we usually roll with this thing. I get in and I see 45 minutes on the dot. And I'm like, how is that even possible? I just got in. Time change. Well, without further ado, I'll let you guys know what's going on with my team and what I'm doing right now. So we are now prepping ready for our first full preseason game of the year, which is only one. Unfortunately, we do go against Hereford Stampede in a controlled scrimmage. We whooped that ass 48-10. We were just better than them, to be honest. Looking at the tape, we weren't that good. We need to refine a lot of shit. We've had a few changes, especially the defensive back area. We need to get some things right. But on that note, we go up to the Oxford Saints and test our mettle against them. And then we're rolling with this season and see how much we can get out of it. But on that note, guys, I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the likes, the follows, everything. And thank you for persevering without me for 45 minutes. I appreciate that. But on that note, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs.